Hello and welcome back to the Nasty Metal Production channel here at YouTube. Welcome to another album review for 2018. And this, of course, is the second album review. And as you can see, I am reviewing the newest album from Substratum, which, of course, is titled Permission to Rock, which is right here. Of course, showing it on a cassette because of right now it's the only physical way of getting this album. So, who are Substratum? They, of course, are a Seattle, Washington-based metal band formed back in 2013. And, of course, are female-fronted, being the singer Amy Lee Carlson. So, and what kind of style when it comes to at least metal? Who would I compare them to? Definitely, I would definitely compare them to like stuff, like Queensryche or Metal Church or Sanctuary, stuff like that, or maybe like at times early Anthrax at times maybe, but they just have that sort of kind of almost sound that borders in between power, thrash, or even speed at times, or just straight up heavy metal. It definitely got that sort of that really borders within there, so the musicianship is actually really tight. So, their first album was released back in 2016 or late 2016 to at least early 2017. Of course, it is titled. Well, actually, it's only self-titled. Just another really good album. Definitely, I purchased this because of when I found out that they were releasing this. I definitely bought this both from the band off of Bandcamp. So, with that, is there any difference or anything? Well, the bass player definitely ended up being changed. Eric Smith, of course, was the bass player who played on the first album here. Ended up, I don't know, I guess leaving or so, to get replaced by Matthew Logan, which you can see, you probably wouldn't see him because of it lists 4 people, which there's supposed to be 5 people. However, turns out I think that they didn't get to mix in, I guess, Matthew Vaughan's bass tracks for the cassette release, so there's an entirely almost different mix here than what would ended up being released digitally, because of it was kind of the digital release that ended up getting pushed back because it was originally was supposed to have been released like January 5th, because this was like put up for pre-order like a really late December, but still it got pushed back. Anyways, between that, they finally put his bass tracks in. You can hear a lot of his bass then really on the cassette. And I definitely gave the cassette quite a spin. So, with that, is there any... so now it's back to the difference between... What's the difference between the Permission to Rock from their self-titled debut? Well, there's definitely quite a bit of a difference. I think the self-titled debut almost had much more of a thrashier leaning to it. Definitely had some more faster tracks. There is some fast tracks on the Permission to Rock, but it's a little less on aggression, on like that palm muting kind of chugging kind of riffing and such. Instead, it's really on dynamics on this album here. Everything, they definitely made things a little more melodic at times. The song Zero to Infinity at times almost has a Thin Lizzy feel to it, but everything from, at least from Rough Rider to Cemetery of State, which is probably by far one of the best songs off this album, besides Locked and Loaded, You'll Never Live Again, and To Nothing to None. And of course, even the title track is also really good. But of course, there's even some 2 acoustic guitar instrumentals, both all leading into each other to another. Almost giving it almost a progressive feel, I guess, bringing in more of that Queensryche influence. Because you got Vulpecula, which is really almost has kind of a classic rock kind of acoustic guitar feel. I can't put my name what band, what it reminds me of, but it has almost a feel of some sort of classic rock band. I can't think of, but it's just a really, really good instrumental that leads to another really good song, The Source of All Creation. And of course, after that comes a Triangulum, and which is another somewhat, again, a very moody kind of acoustic guitar than Vulpecula. Then, of course, you get into the last track, Up on Wheels. There really is no bad song on this album. Everything here almost has a catchier feel. It's like they definitely were trying to write more hooks than just being... Even though, that's not to say that this album has no hooks, there is definitely some great hooky songs on here. Probably being Who Am I? Probably being one of the best songs off this album. But what's also different is there really isn't a whole lot of like this kind of part or sort of like trilogy like stuff where it tries to tell a story like here, because this one has Curse of the Soothsayer trilogy. There's really nothing like that on this one. They definitely and even the timing on this album. The album length for this one is like 42 minutes long, while the debut was around 52 minutes long. So you can definitely tell even more of the difference between there. But either way, they're both really good albums. Definitely Permission to Rock, they definitely decided to definitely up the musicianship, up the writing a bit more. Definitely progress it a bit more and put them in a definitely kind of reach for other different heights and stuff. I definitely do see that. I think they definitely have some really good writing skills, and definitely just a really solid band that is definitely, in some ways, I definitely do say worth checking out. So when it comes to this album, really good album though. Definitely a solid follow-up to their debut. So with that, my score, it's kind of tough because I'm really sitting, I guess, 9.50 out of 10. Just, it's really there. Just, it's like everything here they did. You could definitely tell that they are reaching a bit higher with this album. It's like nothing to take away from their debut. Their debut was a really good album in its own right. This one, you can definitely tell that they're definitely going almost more different sort of. It's like they're still keeping that sort of classic metal edge, but they're definitely pushing it a bit more, I think, in terms of their writing and their ability. They are definitely ranging themselves. So everything on here, there is no bad song. Like again, the only way you can get this is on cassette. So if you got a really good cassette player, definitely buy this. It's definitely worth checking out for sure. And of course, you can get their debut as well. All great stuff. So until then, if you have checked out this album, definitely let me know what you thought. So until then, this Heavy Thrasher Sam out. I'll see you again here soon. Later. Take care.